It says in Matthew chapter 11, verses 28-30, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Well, to those who wrote to me, who are without the matrimonial yoke, what I want to tell you is that this yoke that you have on, which is the spiritual one, there is the matrimonial yoke, which is carnal, and there is the spiritual yoke, which is the one that all of us who are called and chosen have placed upon us. That is a yoke, which is a seal, sealed with the Spirit for the day of redemption. Then he says, learn from me. Learn what exactly? Well, you really must learn that if you're going to put on a yoke, now that you don't have it and you're thinking of marrying or joining someone, since you're without it, learn to make that yoke you're looking for a good one, that they would make an ideal couple. First of all, if you're in the ministry, you're not looking for an unbeliever to be your partner. A person who is not enlightened, because those who already have a yoke, who live with unconverted people, do not tolerate it. Don't you see it's darkness and light? You are enlightened and the other person is not. And it becomes quite difficult to live with someone who isn't enlightened. At this particular stage of the ministry, those who are unmarried, unless they want to follow Paul's recommendation, which says it would be good for a man to remain as I am, without marriage, if he has continence. Because the Apostle Paul, let's read first letter to the Corinthians chapter 7 verse 7. It says the Apostle Paul in the first letter to the Corinthians chapter 7 verse 7, it says, "For I wish that all men were." Listen, everyone. Paul is tremendous. We're even as I myself. But each one has his own gift from God. One in this manner, and another in that. But I say to the unmarried and to the widows, it is good for them if they remain even as I am. But if they cannot exercise self-control, let them marry. For it is better to marry than to burn with passion. Remember that word, to burn with passion. Because primarily, we understand that marriage is an honor. It says over there, I'll be right back to 1 Corinthians 7:7. But to have a biblical basis for marriage, Paul speaking, says, Hebrews chapter 13 verse 4, marriage is honorable among all, and the bed undefiled. But fornicators and adulterers God will judge. Marriage is honorable among all. Then, it is good. It's good to get married, but with the right support. When you're with someone you've been getting to know, someone whose values you recognize and you understand their mindset, then you can build a strong marriage in harmony